Have you ever thought about where your produce comes from? Most grocery chains receive produce from various local and national farmers. In fact, there are about 3.4 million farmers in the United States today. But of that staggering number, only 45,000 are Black farmers. At the Better Buggy, we are a proud group of Atlanta-based Black-owned farmers, selling produce locally and nationwide. Our easy-to-navigate online platform makes it easy for you to make a one-time purchase or to simplify your life by subscribing to our weekly produce box. Whichever frequency you choose, you can order with confidence, knowing you'll receive 100% organic farm-fresh produce. If you're looking for a thoughtful gift for a loved one that they'd actually find useful, be sure to pop by our online store where you can snag a gift card your recipient can use to order their own produce and t-shirts. Ready to start supporting local Black-owned farms and making healthier food decisions? Visit thebetterbuggy.com now to start shopping.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to the drought, farmers in Brazil had a bad harvest this year. So there'll be less coffee available, which means there's going to be inflated prices for coffee. So if you love coffee, you better rack up now because it's about to get bad. Coffee is big business in America. You got coffee shops everywhere, and restaurants generally all serve coffee. I mean, you could be out and about in America and you can find coffee all day. All day. So it is a big thing. Now, I remember in the beginning of the pandemic, they were talking about coffee makers were going through the roof. They were selling out of certain coffee makers and everything because with the lockdown, people couldn't go out for coffee. So they ended up buying newer and better coffee machines or buying their first coffee machine. And that really skyrocketed last year. So this is just one more thing they're going to slap a high price onto. So a lot of the farmers in Brazil were saying their crops were wiped out by the drought. And this is the worst drought in almost 20 years. So they are now going to be short on how much coffee is shipped, and that is including America. So globally, coffee prices are climbing and threatening to drive up costs at the breakfast table as the world's biggest coffee producer, Brazil, faces one of the worst droughts in a century. So they are already saying they're going to be short many bags of coffee, millions of bags of coffee that they would normally have. And the farmers said they always anticipate a weak year. You know, they'll have a strong year, and then the following year it might be a weaker year. But they said this is way more severe than anything they ever had to prepare for. This is by far the worst drought they had to deal with in their lifetime. So the following record harvest in 2020 and 2021 was set to be a weaker year, but the drop is more severe than expected. And one of the coffee growers in Brazil, her name is Christina Valley. I've been growing coffee for more than 50 years, and I've never seen as a bad drought as the one last year and this year, Christina Valley said, a third generation coffee grower. I normally take 3 months to harvest my coffee. This year it took me a month, she said. Brazil's total harvest this year is expected to drop by the biggest year over year amount since 2003, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So they said they are going to be short probably 15 million 100 32 pounds of bags, smaller than 2020. Others are guarding for an even larger slump. Dutch Agriculture Bank expects the harvest to be 17 million bags smaller, while commodity brokers ED and F Man, um, they said they are one of the largest coffee traders, and they expect a decline of more than 23 million bags. A drop that severe is unprecedented. So the pandemic alone shook up the industry. So now you got everybody trying to bounce back from the pandemic, and on top of that, a drought. A drought. And we know parts of the US is dealing with a severe drought. Wow. So I would guess you better rack up on this coffee out here if you're a coffee lover, because it may actually be a big problem in this country, being that the drought is so bad in Brazil. And now you got your biggest coffee producer that may not be able to deliver. And this is 2 consecutive years. They said their crop was not good in 2020, and it's not good in 2021. Mm-mm-mm. The other two factors behind the price rally, there are two other major producing nations, Colombia and Vietnam. Okay, and they said they're doing a little better than Brazil, but struggling with a different issue, port delays that have left beans sitting idle on the dock. Exports from Colombian coffee, particularly desires by baristas for a milder flavor, fell as anti government protesters blocked highways and ports. A shortage of shipping containers and rocketing freight costs hit Vietnam farmers who produce more than a third of the world's supply of Robusta. The whole supply chain suffered not only a significant increase in costs, but also a massive delay. Wow. So they did a little better than Brazil, but because of shipping and shortages, and they can't get their product to move. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Coffee is getting expensive. And I'm looking at one ad where they're selling a cup of coffee for $4.50. Shit, I'll make that mess at home if I really want it. I wouldn't go out there and spend no $4.50. So everybody's going to have Starbucks prices, y'all. That's what it means. Everybody going to be selling coffee at prices of Starbucks out here. You'd be better off just making your own coffee. Get a decent coffee maker. You can get an espresso machine. You can do all of that. It'll come out a lot cheaper. But y'all, please tell me what you think about the poor coffee harvest. And you got Colombian and Vietnam that can't even move their coffee because of issues going on at the port and costs and freight not moving. Wow. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.